Welcome to the Grand Design series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 15th of October 1962. Now, this is going to be a little bit different from the normal series because in this part, what I want to do is focus completely on fixing a long-term problem which I've been avoiding, but I feel I really do need to get it fixed now before it becomes a far bigger problem. And that is the fact that I need to electrify the track from here all the way through to over here, because this is a bit of legacy track that's left over from when we did the early start, and it was actually, well, it started off as coal, then it became diesel. Now it's become a little bit of a liability. And before we get into the practical side, I just want to talk about some basic principles about railways. Now, I'll be completely upfront. If you're doing a 1960 start, especially in realistic mode, even if you don't have full access to good quality electric trains, I would strongly suggest, if your economy can support it, you go straight to electric. Now, if you're someone who's into diesel, that's fair dues. But one thing I would recommend is that when you start a game, decide what form of railway you're going to run. Is it going to be a diesel railway or an electric railway? Now, they both got their pluses and minuses. Now, I'll be completely honest. I'm very biased towards electric track, simply because it's just so much easier to deploy, maintain, and power, simply because all you got to do is remember to put down power transformers. Of course, it's far more expensive to build, but it just makes life a lot easier in the long run, because as long as you put down enough power transformers, your electric trains can run all over the place. The diesel trains are a little bit more complicated to maintain because you've got to supply fuel, which means your fuel distribution network is a bit more complicated. You've also got to put in fueling stations, and well, I've got a coal station over here, which you could say is an example of a fueling station. Now, this is a coal station. If you're going to run a diesel line, you've got to put in fuel stations, and trains trying to find fuel stations can get a little bit involved. Where, as I say, with electric, you don't need to put fuel in your train distribution offices. If I go down here, you can see at the moment these have got fuel in them. Cost-wise, also, electric is cheaper once you've got your own power station, where fuel in itself and the consumption of fuel and supplying enough fuel to these to keep your trains going can become a little bit of a task. That said, if you're doing an early start like I did in 1900, and obviously you want to start using trains a lot earlier than when electric trains become available, and when you really start out, you will often start with possibly, even if you're really got a pre-built map, you could end up with wooden based track as well. So the ability to be able to upgrade your track through the histories, and of course that's the reason what I did is originally my initial track was coal based, but what I did do is I did make this decision after building this line, which is what I really needed to make these two towns grow. I then went to laying electric track, and at the moment predominantly most of my trains at the moment are diesel running on electric track, so in some ways the electric track is a little bit redundant. But once I've done this bit of electrification here, I will then start the progressive move towards a full electric line. Oh, look at that, I've actually built that bit there. Sorry, I'm just gonna do that. I've been trying to get that bit of road finished for a long time, so we're going to put you there. Just do this. I'll forget all about it. And I'm just going to put in here. So that is the situation. As I say, the decision is yours with respect to whether you want to go electric, go diesel. But sooner or later, if you are mixing in tracks, because of course another downside of mixing tracks is that if you put electric trains into distribution offices that have diesel, sooner or later you're going to get electric train gets stuck because it can't find the route to a destination. So that's another downside of mixing the two types together. Anyway, I've already done a little bit of prep with respect to here because we got to electrify out here. And what I've done is I've already suspended trains from here. It's not the end of the world because we can pull resources in from elsewhere. The one we got left to pull is in here. This is the... Actually, probably don't need to pull this one, actually. Because what I'm going to try and do is upgrade this track before these dumps fill up too much. I think if I actually find... what distribution office is this? If we go to here, if I change... Where's the hazard pickup? There. No, it's not there. Where are you? There. I'm going to set this to 50%. What that means is that there should be no hazard trains coming up here at all. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to have to do a little bit of fiddling with the signals. But the first thing I want to do now, because technically active trains should only get as far as here. And this is where life can get a little bit complicated. So the next thing we're going to do is come here, and I'm just going to press shift, and we're going to plan all the bulk upgrades here. Just, oops, didn't mean to do that. There you can see. Now, electrification, in theory, didn't take that much. So we've now got all this lot here. Like that. Now the next thing we're going to have to do is start changing the signals, because luckily I've got a crossover here, but at the same time what you can do is actually if you've got a rail distribution office, you can run the trains through that. Now what I'm actually going to do is come in here, oops, remove that, put that there. I'm going to put mix signals there, and I'm effectively going to make this section here, I think we'll do that as well, just to give an off ramp like that. Oops. Put you there, put mix signals there. Now this section, what I'm going to do is change this, actually put you as a mixed signal there, as an up line there, and then what I'm going to do is I think we'll remove this one up as far as here. Then what I'm going to do is put this in as a mixed signal. The main reason I'm just putting in these as mixed signals is simply down to the fact that it just means that I don't have to reset the lines that much. I think I will just remove these, because this is like a self-contained little section like that. And then what we're going to do is come back to here. I'm going to bump that to high priority and this one to high priority. And then we're going to try and push the trains out. Now, another reason why I'm actually doing this as a one-off video is that it's going to take quite a high degree of micromanagement to keep everything going, because there will be collisions. There's no point pretending otherwise. So we put you there and there, and just put the signals down again. Yep. Actually, I'm gonna put the signal back in there actually to separate those two pieces of track. Now comes the fun bit, because we've got to find a, because I'm just going to speed the game up, because this is going to be the interesting bit now, is that we've got to get a construction train out here that I can get control of. And we're going to need one last chance to buy. We got a sailing ship. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just wait for a construction train to turn up. Here's one coming now. Okay. Just going to tag him. Got two of them now. Construction trains are like buses. You wait for ages and then two come along at the same time. What we need to do is try and get past this junction up here. Once we got past this junction out here, that means that the crop distribution trains should be able to run quite easily, because these trains will be operating in their own separate bit of track. And what you will see is that these will lay track quite quickly. But the key factor is whether this train can find its way back to the thing here. You can see how quick this track's being built. So hopefully this will go very, very quickly. And you can see it's kind of nearly laying all this track out this way. Does the other train shown up yet? Yeah, you're high priority. No, obviously the other train has gone off somewhere else. But it is making good progress. That's it. I was hoping that I'd get two construction trains running at the same time. And maybe it's not going to be, unless the other construction train didn't have already had a job. Let me just see. Yeah, wow. Oh, you're right out there. This one's on the way back. These trains are laying really long distance bits of track, so one of these might come and assist. Right, let's get back to doing what this guy's up to. And we're going to need to keep an eye on him. Oh, come off it. Where are you going? Okay, it looks like one of my construction trains has gone off wandering. I think what I am going to do is where are you? Yeah, what we're going to do is cancel this job. So I need this train to be totally focused, because I do have a time limit on this. So right, and we're just going to push out this way. I mean, ideally I would like to do it with two trains, but oops. And we're just going to, what I will do is push this forward, come to here, and what I'm going to do is push up the priorities on these bits of track as well. So if a train starts working on these, it will be able to, because I want these guys to push through the best they can. Of course, the shorter bits of track will go quicker. We may have a problem there. Yep, that bit hadn't been picked up. Sometimes when you drag click over fairly complex bits of track, sometimes little pieces can get missed out. And then that looks like we've actually got the same problem there as well. And you can see this guy is pushing through here quite quickly. High priority. Looks like we got a new vehicle. High priority. A little bit of a graphics glitch there. High priority. High priority. Oops. Right. Hopefully what he will do now is pick up the, just make sure this bit of track here is not allocated. Oops. Pause. I thought I'd allocated it. As I said, this requires a fairly high level of manual management, but there's not much you can do about it. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut the video here, because obviously I'm just waiting for the train to go backwards and forwards to lay this track. So what I'll do is I'll just keep monitoring this train. If anything interesting happens, I'll come back to you. Okay, welcome back. What I've done now is I've decided to try and push up the progress by actually getting a train here. See, this train has just come through this section here. So what we're going to have now is 2 construction trains coming out here. And of course, this train is now running on the wrong side of the track, this is where collisions can actually happen. But there's also a possibility that because we got 2 construction trains working up here in the same area, that we may actually get some blockage. And this is something you do need to be aware of when you're actually getting out here. We are now pushing in this way. I think the other train is right up there. You can see he's actually got stuck by the look of it. Yeah. You'll probably find that what we got here is I haven't fixed all the signals. Yeah, we need that mixed one there. Undo that one. Now, of course, the quick way you can do this, if you want to do, is to actually just click on it, go Control H and send it home. And what should happen is it will just come back out again. This is a technique that you can use if things get very, very complicated and trains are... Okay, so this line's been done on this side. So what we need to do now is get you back over here, and I want you to start building in there. Okay, we're just going to push the priority right up. Of course, another thing you need to consider if you're doing this, this is relatively easy because it's close to the construction office, but if it was a long distance away, this is why when you plan your rail network, is, as I say, I always prefer to go to electric because it just makes life a lot easier. But sometimes that's not possible, so go in there. And I'm just going to push into here. What this train should do is finish off this section here. He's obviously complaining, he's not that happy. So there's a good chance he may get stuck. Nope. Okay, right. Let's just queue up. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to keep pushing out and queuing up these guys. Just to make sure that they've got... Because we've now got this section done. What I want to do is start working on this section here. This is medium priority. Push that up to high. And then, of course, what we're going to do... Got stuck again. I'm not sure where the signal problem is. Just see... There. Put you there. That should get him back that way. That one needs to go that way as well. We need that chain signal. Put that as a mixed. Just keep pushing out these ways. I'm just going to remove you. And just change these signals here. That one's two-way. Okay, welcome back. Just to give you a bit of an update, I've now got this bit of track here finished, and if I show you the signals, and this is the reason why you can micromanage this, you can see that I can now bring out the waste truck train here to pick up the goods. At the same time, we've got our this train's decided to go that way. It goes without saying. Set you to high priority, and we're just going to keep pushing out this way. See, this train is nearly got all the way to the office here. We get him onto this final section. It'd be really great if he could actually get all the way to there. Right, was that allocated? Yep. High priority. We can build into there. We'll get a little bit of a problem in this area, but that'll be okay. Okay, welcome back. We just got this train has just finished this section now. That means we can now put back in the signals here. Put you there. Get that there. And then this can change back to that. High priority, I need that allocated. Like that. So we're gonna need you running all the way out here. Because we've now, so it says a connection to there does not exist. Great, what's up with this? Why messed up the signaling? Okay, welcome back. We are just doing the last little bit of track here, and that is it. That finishes the electrification process. Of course, now what I've got to do is put all the signals back so that it can work. And of course, more importantly, what I'm going to need to do now is reconstitute the delivery connections out to here. But I don't think it's been that big a problem, because you can see here I deliberately put a big pile of clothes in here, and the food supply isn't so important because that comes from another local position. So overall this has gone quite well. Now I've got one more thing to do, which is going to be a little bit risky. So I'm going to wait for the train to get back into the depot, and I'm not sure if this is actually going to work. We're going to need to supervise this very carefully. So what we're going to do is get the train back into here. Well, about there would do. And what I'm going to do is drop a save, because we've now got that done. Because what I want to do now, as I say, this is a little bit shaky. And what I'm going to do is we're going to demolish that bit of track there. Simply because if we don't need this crossover anymore, and it does cause problems. Okay, we're going to set this to high priority. This is assigned to demolition office. Why wasn't that? We should be able to demolish this. Oh, we've got a wrong switch. So we've now assigned to demolition. Okay, it says you're in here. Why are you not? Yeah, there. When you demolish something, you have to have enough space to be able to offload what needs to be demolished. Now, this could be a little bit of a problem. It will remove this. Now, the train, when it demolishes stuff, will demolish it in one go. Right. You can see the track is now gone. And the train has disappeared. Right. What we got to do now is find some way to get the train into here to demolish this bit. Which is probably going to be a little bit more of a problem. I think we might be able to do it by using the existing signals. I'll see if I can do this. Again, it's time to the construction office. 1.6 tons of boards. See if we can find the train again. Yep, it's there. Now this could be interesting to see how the train finds its way back to do the demolition. Because it's going to get to that demolition board. I would guess what's going to happen is that they're going to go all the way up to a place where they can... Yep. So what construction cranes do is they have this ability to be able to go up and find a path through somehow. What you'll see is he's now demolished that track. What he's going to do now, if we follow him, he'll probably go up into... Yep, he's gone past that point. And what he's going to do now is actually... Oops. Okay, we're gonna have to use Control H to get him back to... Yeah, okay. It seems that we've got a section of track here that has not been electrified. Why is that not being electrified? Let me just check. No, that is just some residual symbols from behind now. Now, if we now check I can now remove these signals. We don't need them anymore. What that means is we've now got a better section through here. And I can put a line splitter in there. And probably another one there, another one there. And of course, what I'm going to have to do now is redo the signals here. So that we can... And of course, the process of doing this is going to disturb the lines, but that's okay. Anyway, obviously I've got the chore of redoing all the signals all the way through, get everything set up, and then what I'm going to have to do is reconstitute the links here. Anyway, I don't want this video to be too long because it's only meant to be about electrification of lines. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. Any questions, comments, feel free to chuck it in the video description. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.